Hello, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. I want to have a conversation today about a topic that we here in the world label as mysterious, and that is the idea, the notion, the concept of time. We don't really understand it in the world, and we simply assume that it runs our lives. And assume being the operative word. If you're new to A Course in Miracles, welcome, and welcome to all of you who are experienced students of this course. Each and every video pertains to all of us because we're all, myself included, students of this course. So, what it would have us understand is simple. The truth is uncomplicated. It simply is. And we're the ones that think that everything is so complex. It is not complex. We've simply chosen to cover our eyes to its brilliance. And with our eyes closed and covered, and with ourselves huddling in a dark corner, in a manner of speaking, we're actually afraid of the light, which is what we truly are. So, time is one of these concepts that we just assume runs the show. 1 second, 1 minute runs into the next minute, and we have calendrical systems that attempt to stabilize this for us and attempt to label everything, breaking it down into multiple component parts under the assumption, and again, the operative word being assumption, that each individual unit is in fact separate from the unit that follows that, and separate from the unit that follows that, and so on ad infinitum. If you take nothing from this conversation, take the following statement. There is no separation of any kind, period. So everything that we've broken down into multiple component and subcomponent parts is illusion. Truth is whole. It is united. It is perfect oneness, which is not divisible. We think time is some great mystery. It is not a mystery. In fact, it is nothing. So today, in the text of A Course in Miracles, we're on chapter 15, section 1, which is entitled The Two Uses of Time. Now, we do have a choice, as we saw in the last video, of siding with the ego, choosing the ego as our guide, and listening to its use of time, which leads to our death and demise and wasting away, inevitably in the end, going bye-bye. And the Holy Spirit's use of time is quite different. We're invited to choose. And this is a theme that, of course, runs throughout A Course in Miracles. The choice that we have in the present moment. Because, in fact, it takes no time to learn these lessons. It appears to take years and years and years and years, or lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. Yeah. In fact, it takes no time at all to learn truth. We allow it in. This lesson takes no time. The Holy Spirit would release us from fear and guilt right now. Right now. And why would that be? Well, there is no past and there is no future. They do not exist. We have only the present. This is so well documented and well covered in various spiritual traditions worldwide that it almost takes on the status of a platitude in our practice. We would readily, readily accept that the past is gone and that the future is not here. Of course, that's true. So you might wonder why we live our lives as though that's not the case. What am I even talking about? Well, the fact that we spend very little, if any, time in the present. We're not present in our lives. Why? Because we obsess over the past and the future. Now, you may obsess about one more than the other. Neither is the present, and neither exists. Past is gone. The future's not here. We obsess about things that we could have or would have, should have, woulda, coulda, shoulda done yesterday. And we entertain multiple scenarios in our mind about what we should have said or we should have done when so and so said this. And what if this had turned out differently? And what if that? What if that? Or we become deeply anxious and worried and disturbed about something that is not here, yet may happen in the future. We worry about tomorrow. We worry about how much money is going to come into our bank account when we get paid on Friday. We worry about having to have a conversation with a certain person. We can stress ourselves out to no end about the future just as well as we can stress ourselves out about the past. And neither is here, so neither the past nor the future exist. Only the present. This is what we have. We make decisions in the present moment, right now. And the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, would release us from fear and guilt right now. Guilt is based on the past. There is no past. Therefore, there is no guilt. Right now, there is no guilt. There is no past. The ego would have you obsess over the past or the future or both and skip over the present moment completely. The Holy Spirit would have you let the past go, forgive the past, forgive the future too, forgive time, space, yourself for dreaming it, and just be in the present moment where you are eternally guiltless. It takes no time to be who and what you are. And you know what that is. It takes no time. This lesson is learned right here in the present moment. There is no past. There is no future. This lesson takes no time. The imagined continuum of one event in the past leading to another event in the future is a complete illusion. What enigma? It is not enigmatic. It is nothing. This course would have us accept this. So we hear the teaching, the lesson, over and over again, along with all of the other lessons that are very simple, in fact, yet we assume are monumentally complicated. The present is free of guilt and it extends forever. Peace and joy and, yes, immortality are yours right now. Now, when else? There is no other time. Right now. So we're invited to simply be here right now. Something that I have in practice found very powerful is just to sit quietly and say to your inner teacher, to God, whatever that looks like for you, I am here, Lord. And just sit quietly and see what happens. This very conversation, of course, illustrates quite clearly why meditation is a thing in world spirituality, why mindfulness practices, whatever form they take, this explains why they're a thing, why it's necessary. Because when we're frantic about the past or the future or both, and we skip over the present moment completely. The present moment is where the action is. The past is gone. The future is not here. Neither one exists. The magnitude of this is often lost on us until we do exactly what you're doing right now and pay attention to our inner teacher. It's very important that we take a pause, however brief, out of our excess daily activity to listen to the voice for God, even if it's only for a few seconds. It is in calm that we hear the Holy Spirit. It is in peace and quiet that we can hear Him. And as we mentioned in a couple of videos ago, there was a very excellent question and a very common practical question about how do I hear the Holy Spirit? How do I hear our inner teacher? How do I hear the voice for God? Well, there are many ways that the Holy Spirit speaks to us. One of the most common is we get an idea. We get an intuitive hit or a deep inner knowing. It may or may not be a verbal communication in a language that you can understand. It can be a feeling, very powerful way of communication. It can be any number of things. What a pixelated image on your screen is saying, when it lands, it's the Holy Spirit. Count on that. It could be something that you see or hear, or taste, touch that reminds you of who you are. There are many ways that our inner teacher communicates to us. But if we're running around chaotically and frantic we're unable to hear. So that is why it's said in A Course in Miracles, a tranquil mind is not a little gift. It's huge. Right here in the present moment is when we wake up. It can be right now. When else? The past can't reach you here. Forgive it and let it go. There is no guilt. There is no separation. The separation, this perceived separation from God, never took place. Where are you? Who and what are you? As the Son of God. Hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So, as a practical matter, especially if you're new to this material, these ideas can seem really wild and weird. Having that experience, I mean, we've all had it from time to time. There's no telling how these ideas are going to hit, how they're going to land. And it is entirely possible that we experience extraordinary resistance. That's part of the path. That is the ego. All resistance is of the ego. Truth simply is, and it waits for our acceptance. So the more we can drop our armor, so to speak, our shield and sword, which we discover we don't need, nor our mail plated armor, nor visor that covers our face and obscures our sight. The more we can forgive and release, the better. The more our inner teacher's voice becomes crystal clear to us and our thoughts. Our words, our actions are his thoughts, words, and actions. Remember, there's no separation of any kind, and our inner teacher is inner. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind. Let's listen to it. All right. So I thank you for tuning in today and every day. In fact, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do that. I'd love to have you join us. This is the prompt in the corner of your screen. Go ahead and click that arrow over there, and you'll be invited to subscribe and join us. When you do, you'll see that several videos appear each week. And if you would like to be notified each time one drops, just click that bell icon and you could choose to receive notifications from YouTube that another video has just dropped from your inner teacher. All right. Questions are always most welcome here. If you've got them, please feel welcome to leave them here in the comment thread. And I will talk to all of you very soon. Thank you for joining.